Richard, though, I mean, his Japanese is just so good. Like,
Mm.
and that's another thing. We all speak Japanese to varying levels. I'm probably the idiot in the group, but
No, no,
um,
no
no, I mean,
way.
I can hold
A lot
my
of
own.
trust.
I can hold my own and converse. And I did seminars, but when I was in America for over 30 years, right? And I hadn't planned on staying. I was going to go for 2 years, but then Kurumi wanted to stay, and 30 years passed, right? And you're doing the similar seminars. You're in that like management world in my case, right? Especially manufacturing and hospitality. So your Japanese and your vocabulary, when you talk about it, it flows freely. Your thoughts are formed. You've done it a lot, so you have a lot to draw from in your inventory, of knowledge. And then you come back to Japan and you're immediately humbled. You're like, holy shit, I thought my Japanese was better than it was. you know, I can't understand the news. Damn it. And then I started listening to the news every night. And it took me about a month to kind of, get the hang of it because they're all continuing stories. So you're repeating part of this story yesterday and you're just getting the extension of the story. And so you start following these narratives and you get used to the vocabulary. So, that's but it's been humbling. And I feel like, even sometimes I'll listen to, we've talked about Rakugo before, it's not like I can just turn on Rakugo and understand it. If it's a story I know, then I'll be able to follow it easily. But if it's a new story and it's Osaka then I won't understand much of it just because of the dialect so I have to listen to it 2 or 3 times and look up a couple key words and then you figure it out, right? So that's kind of like my leaving and coming back was actually rather humbling. And
I think I assume it's probably true in other languages as well, but I mean, I'm speaking from my personal experience with Japanese, but there are just these pockets. Of course, we all know that there are different levels of formality, and I've heard stories of people who are very comfortable in their professional working environment, and they're speaking, professional business Japanese, or perhaps even using a lot of very industry-specific terminology, and then they get home and maybe they see their Japanese next-door neighbors and the kids come by, and they can't carry even the most basic of conversations with these little children.
Yeah.
So there's these, I don't know what you call them, pockets or divisions, and unless you're exposed to them, you're really at a loss. I was very lucky in that respect because I saw the home dynamic when I was at the homestay family. I could see kids talking to each other. I could see the parents talking to the kids. I could see the parents talking to the grandparents. So I saw all those kind of things playing out. And, I wasn't really consciously thinking of it at the time, but, it became sort of second nature to me being exposed to them. And I think that's something that really takes a conscious effort if you want to be comfortable in more of these kind of areas as possible, is to expose yourself. Watching television dramas can be very helpful as well because you see situations that you otherwise may not be able to experience firsthand.